Here is your long, emotional, YouTube-style cinematic story written exactly in plain paragraphs, with a strong hook, deep emotion, smooth pacing for a 40-minute video, and an inspiring closing message. Ma'am, I can't find my daddy, the little girl whispered with trembling lips, her tiny fingers clutching the edge of the CEO's coat. Rain dripped from her eyelashes, her shoes were soaked with mud, and her voice was so small, yet it hit the female CEO harder than any boardroom crisis ever had. And in that moment, viewers, your heart must already be pounding, because this is where everything begins. If you're watching this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, because stories like this remind us how one moment can change a life forever. Amara Shah, a 32-year-old self-made CEO, the kind who didn't blink even when entire companies depended on her, had planned to spend exactly 5 minutes stopping at that countryside rest area. She was returning from an investor meeting, exhausted, mentally drained, her assistant begging her to rest. But Amara believed rest was for later, success first. That belief shattered the moment she heard soft crying near the wooden fence. She turned, expecting maybe an injured animal or a tourist child with their parents nearby. But no, it was a little girl alone, shivering in the soft drizzle of forest rain, gripping a torn pink backpack as if it were the last thing she had. Amara knelt down slowly, her voice gentle but steady. "Sweetheart, where is your daddy?" The girl's chin quivered, her breath stuttering. He went into the woods, to get firewood. But he didn't come back. Those words didn't just worry Amara, they pierced her. Memories she had buried long ago rose like ghosts, her own father disappearing into a stormy night, leaving her and her mother waiting by the door for hours, only to never return. She pushed the thought away, forcing herself to focus. "What's your name?" Amara asked softly. "Lily," the girl whispered, wiping her tears with her muddy sleeve. "Lily, don't worry. I'm here now. We're going to find him together." Lily's small hand slipped into Amara's, fragile but trusting. Without hesitation, the female CEO, who usually moved with calculated precision, ran with the child toward the darkening woods. The trees loomed tall, shadows stretching like fingers across the path, and every step deeper felt like stepping into a memory she had sworn she'd never revisit. They called out for Lily's father. No answer. Only the sound of dripping leaves and distant thunder. Lily stumbled on a root, almost falling, but Amara caught her. "I'm fine," Lily insisted, though her voice cracked. Amara could tell she wasn't. The girl was starving, scared, and overwhelmed. It made Amara's chest tighten. "How long has he been gone?" she asked gently. "Since morning," Lily whispered. "We were camping. Daddy said he'd be back before breakfast. But then it rained. And I heard something loud. And," she clenched her eyes shut. "I got scared." A sudden gust of wind shook the branches. Amara swallowed hard. This wasn't just a simple delay. Something was wrong. They walked deeper, and Lily began to talk more, about how her father worked 2 jobs, how he always tried to make time for her, how this camping trip was the first fun day they had had in months. Each word painted a picture of a man who tried his best despite struggles, a man not too different from the father Amara had lost. Her throat tightened again. She redirected the girl's attention with small reassurances, keeping her focused. But inside, Amara felt something she hadn't in years: fear. Just when she thought they might be going in circles, Lily gasped and pointed. "Ma'am, there. Daddy's jacket." A navy jacket lay, tangled in a bush, torn at the sleeve. Amara examined it. There was a scrape of dried blood on the collar. She kept her expression calm, but Lily noticed her hesitation and began to cry. Is Daddy hurt?" Amara lifted Lily into her arms. "He might be, but we're not stopping until we find him. I promise." They followed a faint trail of broken branches and footprints. The air grew colder, the forest darker. Lily rested her head on Amara's shoulder, exhausted. For the first time in a long time, Amara felt something unfamiliar settle in her heart, protectiveness, deep and fierce. Minutes felt like hours until a low groan echoed from behind a fallen tree. Amara's head snapped toward the sound. "Daddy!" Lily screamed. They ran. And there he was, Lily's father, lying on the ground, clutching his leg twisted unnaturally beneath him. His face pale from pain, his body soaked. "Lily," he whispered, relief flooding his eyes when he saw her. You found help." Amara knelt and checked his injury. Your leg might be fractured. You can't walk. We need to get you out, now. He looked at her, confused. Who are you? I'm just someone who couldn't leave your daughter alone, she replied simply. But her hands were shaking, not from fear, but from the weight of responsibility she suddenly felt for this family she had just met. It took everything she had, strength, determination, and grit, to help him up and support his weight. He winced, but forced himself to try, for Lily's sake. The trek back through the forest felt endless. At one point, Lily's father nearly fell. Amara steadied him instantly, her jaw clenched. You're strong for a CEO, he said through a pained breath. You're strong for a dad, she answered softly. By the time they reached the clearing, Amara's suit was ruined, her hair wet and tangled, her entire body sore. But Lily was safe. Her father was alive, and something inside her had shifted. At the hospital, doctors confirmed his injuries weren't life-threatening. Lily refused to leave Amara's side, her tiny hand gripping hers as if she were family. And Amara. She didn't pull away.